Hello friends, in this video we are going to integrate the fixed asset module with the lease module. So we are going to see that we need to create a one fixed asset in the fixed asset module, then we will link it with our lease in the lease module, and then we will pass depreciation entries in the fixed asset module, and we will see how it is impacting our lease module. So in the lease module we are going to do all the other entries for the lease, right? Now let's create a new lease. So I have already created some lease. I'm just going to copy that. But before that, what we need to do is we need to create a new fixed asset. So I'm just using the copy fixed asset button. Fixed asset copy. Just see here I have put the fixed asset group computer and the number automatically appear. Let me just show you the computer group. Here in the computer group, we have a book, which is only a single book, and the service life we have already provided the service life. But I will also show you that how service life will impact when we will enter our lease term and the useful life in the fixed asset module, in the lease module, right? So one more thing is that the method of depreciation. So method of depreciation, I recommended to use monthly method of depreciation, right? So that you can get your monthly entries posted, and it basically easily integrate with the lease module. Now we need to go to books of the fixed asset. So in the books we can see all these details appearing, and you can also see the acquisition date appearing, acquisition price appearing. But whatever we are whatever price or whatever date we are mentioning in the lease module, when we are doing the initial recognition journal, that that will appear here. It is currently appearing because I have copied it. So let's say if I change it to 6 and if I made it as 0, and once we do the initial recognition entry, then it will automatically change, right? So I will just make it 7. So I have changed everything, right? But we will see how it will impact when we are changing, when we are tagging our lease, right? So just save it. Now go back. So we have created our fixed asset, right? We just need to create a new fixed asset. And now second thing is go to your lease module. So in the lease module, this was our lease. Let me just filter this. Now select this lease ID. In the lease ID, we need to select the newly created fixed asset. Okay, we need to first create a lease. That was previous one which I was working. So click on the copy lease button. Now we have our lease description. Description, you can provide any good description. Now other things we need to see is that the useful life we are putting as 12. As I have already explained you in my previous video, that how the depreciation getting calculated in the lease module. In the lease module, total ROU will be divided by lesser of whether asset useful life or the lease term. For example, our lease term is 10 year. Our useful life is 12 year. But as you know that if lease term is only 10 years, then we are having that asset with us only for 10 years. So we need to depreciate only for the 10 years. But our useful life of the asset is 9 years, lease term is 10 years, so then we will depreciate over 9 periods, 9 years. And one more thing, if our transfer of ownership is yes, then it means that asset will be with us even after the lease, right? So then we are going to depreciate over the asset useful life. So this concept will also work when we are integrating with the fixed asset. So whether you are not integrating the fixed asset or whether you are integrating the fixed asset, this concept will work. I will show you how it will work. So first we have entered all these details, and these details are simple. We are just creating a schedule. Okay, now schedule is created. Now go to Okay, we actually forgot to, change the fixed asset number, but anyways, I have changed it. Now I click on save button. I will click on regenerate book. Now books are generated, so everything is fine now. Okay, so now I will click on payment schedule. I will click on confirm schedule button and I will go back and I will click on the initial recognition journal, and you can see that in the fixed asset till now no entries has been passed in the fixed asset module. I will go to asset leasing journal. There you can see that this entry is getting posted, right? Now you can also see the fixed asset number here. So once I will post this journal, fixed asset will be acquired. So currently you can see it is not acquired, but if I go back and I go again in the valuations, you can see the entry has been posted. Now if I go to details, the entry type will be acquisition entry, and you can see the accounts and the lease liability. So ROU to lease liability, right? So you can give the ROU account name and main account name so that you can manage yourself. There is easy setup, and you can see that the values are matching with our sheet 4301196.9, right? 4301196.9, right? So this is fine. So what we have done till now is we have acquired a fixed asset. I will also show you some of the important details which are captured from the lease module. So you can see that acquisition date has been changed. Acquisition price has been changed. Acquisition price is automatically the ROU value, right? And now place in service date is changed, depreciation run date is changed, service life, most important, service life is changed. I told you earlier that lease term or asset useful life, whichever is less, but if transfer of ownership is yes, then useful life, right? So this concept will work. So automatically the lease term has been appearing here. Lease term is 10 years and depreciation period is monthly. Since my depreciation profile is monthly, so that's why periods are appearing monthly, right? So depreciation periods are automatically populated. One more thing I want to tell you that lease ID is automatically appearing here. Lease ID book type will be IFRS. So you can see that in our asset leasing module. If I go back and I show you here as well, you can see that one book ID is integrated with this book ID. So 1:1 matching should be there. 1:1 relationship. So this IFRS book is interlinked with this book, right? So if I go to computer book, so this is my fixed asset book, right? Hmm. And one more thing regarding the financial dimension will also populate if you enter your financial dimension when you are creating the lease summary, right? So when you are creating the lease summary here, you can put some financial dimension and that will automatically uh, populate it to your fixed asset book, right? Otherwise we can change it here by clicking on edit button and we can just change it. So that is fine. So till now we have understood two concepts. First is the uh, asset acquisition. Second is books have one-to-one relation and details will defaulted to FA module, right? Now let's go to your lease, and this is our lease, and go to books. So here you will find that in there is a fixed asset section. Here you will find balance, profile, transaction. So this is actually from your fixed asset module that is appearing on your lease book details, right? So if I go to fixed asset module, if I go to if I go to books, yeah, so you can see that transaction option is here. You can see transaction balances. I will also show you balances option. There's balances option here, and Profile option is also there. So from the fixed asset book, there are three options. So if I go to balances here, you can see all the balances appearing. But if from the lease module as well, if I click on the balances, then the same screen will get open. So it is very handy option which is available to any of the fixed asset manager, that they can see the balance, they can see the profile. So if I just click on the profile, so you can see the depreciation profile as per the fixed asset module. So even if I go to fixed asset module and if I just go to balance, sorry, if I go to profile, then I will see that uh, depreciation profile. And now let me just show you the transaction as well. So transaction will show us the acquisition entry, right? So till now we have done this thing. Now let's go to our Excel sheet. The second thing we would like to do is uh, the depreciation and the other entries for the 2 years, right? So I will go to my lease book and I will I have posted the acquisition entry now. That means the initial recognition at journal. Now we go to journals, periodic tasks, and go to batch job creation. Now, friends, what we are going to do is we are going to do the entries for the 2 years. So I am going to use the lease batch functionality. I am going to use a payment schedule first so that we can post the payment, and then we will use the liability amortization schedule to post the interest entries. Asset depreciation schedule we are not going to post because asset depreciation will be managed from the fixed asset module. So these two things, let's do it. Now let's use the book ID. Book ID will be this one. From date will be 24 and to date will be December 2025. So we are going to post entries from this date to this date, and let's click on OK button so that the entries will get created in our book. I'm just duplicating this tab. Go to your asset leasing, lease, lease summary. Now go to your book. Go to your book. Go to asset leasing journal. Let me check if it is recording. Yeah, it is recording. Let's do a quick. We have actually posted the payment schedule, right? So payments will be shown in the invoice journal. So you can see that payment entries are getting created for the two periods, right? Just click on post button. First entry, second entry, both are posted. Now go to batch journal creation. Go to liability amortization schedule to post the interest entries for the lease. Now let's post the depreciation entries. I'm just directly going to post it, right? So now interest entries will be posted. Now let's do a quick refresh. Okay, interest entries are being posted. So you can see interest is posted till this date. Now we can simply go back. We can go to liability transaction table, liability transaction screen, and then at the end you will see lease liability balance, which is 373,444,83. I can check with my schedule. Let's check. 373 44483 is matching, right? So till now we are fine. What we have done is we have posted the entries, right? Now let's do the depreciation for the asset, right? So now go to fixed asset module, go to create depreciation proposal. Now we will select the journal which we are going to use. Let me select the before that, let's see the fixed asset journal. Okay. Uh, okay. Let me select the fixed asset book ID. So we are going to run depreciation proposal for this fixed asset, and rest of the things remain same. Just click on create journal. Okay, sorry, we forgot to mention the date. We forgot to mention the date for that fixed asset. The journal is created, but we need to check. It is created only for one period, so I'm just deleting it, right? Also, we can check the fixed asset journal name here, and the posting layer is current. Yeah, okay. Delete both the journals. I don't want any journal here. Click on create depreciation schedule. Select the fixed asset journal, and fixed asset ID is here. Yeah, to date. I will say I want to post my depreciation till 12 December 31st, right? Click on create journal. Right now, we will go and see our fixed asset journal getting created by the system. It is in use. So just refresh. Now it is in not in use by the system. So we can simply check the journal. So you can see that depreciation entries are automatically generated in the fixed asset module, right? I will I will just check from my sheet. The total depreciation that need to be posted is this much, 8602393, right? So I will just see 8602392. So let's ignore the decimals, right? Looks fine, everything looks fine here. I will click on post button so we can directly post it. And one more thing, as I already told you, that the financial dimensions we can auto populate from the lease book to the fixed asset book when we are creating our initial recognition entry, and if the financial dimensions are available on the book, then it will auto populate on our transactions as well, right? So if any customer requires you, any client requires you that the journals should be created with the automatic financial dimension, so they can maybe check department wise how much is the depreciation, right? So that is possible. So we have posted the depreciation. Now we can go to our lease book, and from there we can check what is my balance. So we can check we can check that depreciation is getting posted, and our net book value is this much, right? So just let me show you. Net book value is coming as 34409,575, right? So uh, ignore the rounding off. So till now we have also posted the depreciation. Let me just show you one more entry, maybe for the modification as well, and then we will go for the lease termination, right? So let's suppose we are done till this date, and we want some lease modification. Actually, for modification I have already created one sheet, and everything remains same in this sheet. So here the revised contract says that the modification date is this 1st of January, right? And The installments will be changed. Installments will be changed. Now there are total 9 years lease term. 9 years means earlier there was 10 years. 2 years has been passed, so remaining was 8 years. But we have changed it to 9 years. It means 1 year has extended. So there is one more additional year. The payments amounts are changed. The interest rate has been changed. The discounting rate, right? So everything has been changed. So we are going to take this impact in our lease, right? So there are two options to modify the lease. One is the adjustment wizard. So adjustment wizard is a great functionality which helps you to modify all of your books. So whatever you entered here, it will impact other books as well, all the books. So, but if you go to directly books and you can do the adjust book option, adjust book will only will adjust only this book, right? So I am going to use the adjustment wizard. Now click on next button. Modifying modification date is this one. Now click on next button. Fair value of the asset. I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to change the incremental borrowing date. Now asset useful life. I am not going to change because but we need to change it when we are doing the modification. Then we can put the useful life of the asset if you want. So that depends on your, finance team, whatever they like to do, they can just do it, right? And now we are going to change index rate is there. Index rate. Okay, no, index rate we are not going to change. Payment amount. Let's change the payment amount 110. 110. Now periods. We need to also change the period. So you can select years here and here I am going to put total periods are 9 years. So 9 years are remaining. You can see the end date. You need to, carefully focus that end date should be as per your modified agreement. So we have changed the end date, we have changed this date, we have changed the installment, right? So we have changed all these three details. Now we can click on the next button, right? And now you can see that the entries which is going to be posted in the system. So the new liability balance will be this much 62109, right? 62109,562. It is same. Now previous liability balance is this one. So whatever is my previous liability balance that is coming in the system. So it means after doing all the entries, what is my previous liability balance is 3734483, right? This is same, right? Now, but one thing I have noticed that asset balance is not appearing here when we are integrating the fixed asset module, then asset balance I am not finding it here, right? So this is one thing which I noticed. Now you can see what is going to be my adjustment. So adjustment is simple. Whatever increase in my liability that will be added to my ROU asset. So ROU asset will be debited, liability will be credited, and you can see that this account, right? Also, one more thing, in this case, the entry will be acquisition adjustment. So once I click on finish button, now go to your book, go to asset leasing journal. Let me go back here. You can see that initial right of use asset has been increased. The initial lease liability has been increased. So now if I just show you what is my RU balance, so RU balance will be the whatever is my initial balance plus the change plus the modification which we have made. So RU balance will be initial ROU balance, that is this much, plus the change which we have made. This is 6777704, right? So that is a gross value, right? Net value will be different because depreciation is already posted for 2 years, right? Now, now we uh need to see that liability balance will be 62109. Yeah, it is fine. And now we see that how the entries are happening in our fixed asset module. So if our fixed asset module, we go to transaction, at the end you can see that acquisition adjustment entry has been posted. Right. If I go to details, I will show you what entry has been posted is this entry has been posted. Right of use asset is debited, financial liability is credited. So we have seen how entries are posted. Now let's see the balance as well. So in the balance section also you can see the acquisition adjustment that is posted, right? And now we can see in the book version as well. There will be two book version 1, version 2. So this is version 1 without modification. Now this is with modification. After modification, this new book version has been created, right? So two books versions are there. So if you go to view section, you can see, if you go to liability amortization schedule, you can see the previous liability amortization schedule. But if you go to your new one, you will find the new liability amortization schedule. We do not create previous records, right? So new records are created in the new liability amortization schedule, right? Now, but in your liability transaction, you'll find all your entries which are posted for this list, right? And you can see the new liability balance as well, right? So this was about the lease modification. Now